Hi, thanks for joining. Today we're going to be doing Cinderella off the mat. So if you are like me, off the mat is already a lengthy process. So I have not gotten to the point where I'm designing my own SVGs. So if you bought on Etsy, what you want to do is you want to go to and you want to go to purchases and reviews. And this is where we're going to download our files. So I bought this Disney Princesses Base bundle. So we're going to go in here. You're going to download the files. And this is the one we want. We want to download this one. And so it's here. It's a zip file. So we have to unzip it. You can't upload a zip file into Design Space. So it's Disney Princesses. Let's open this up and let's get the one that we want. Oh, lovely. So they didn't tell us which one is which. That really drives me insane. So let's look at all the different Disney. So let's look at our PNG so we can see who that is. All right, so the first one is Ariel. All right, let's look at the second one. Oh, I do want to do Snow White, but I was going to do Cinderella. Ah, and there she is. Okay, so she's number 3. We'll keep this over here. We want to go to this one, and we're going to bring it over to the desktop, and that way you can go and upload it in, okay? So let's now go to Design Space. Okay, so here what you want to do is you want to go to Upload. We're going to upload image, browse. You got to remember where you put it. So you want to go to your desktop, and it was Princess something, right? Did I not move it to my desktop? I did, I thought. Or was it Disney Princess? This is what happens every time. Okay, here we go. Disney Princesses. All right. And there she is. So let's type in Cinderella so you can find it again next time. Save it. Okay, so then once it's saved, it's in Design Space. Now we're going to click on it. And sorry, everything's like in the way. All right, so we're going to click on it and we're going to insert the image. Okay, so here she is. I'm going to do her at 30. I feel like, because she's going to be next to Jasmine, and my Jasmine was 30 inches, but it had her torso. So I'm leaning towards doing maybe 26 inches. So let's just do 26 over here. So that's the height. So you can see she's really big and she's going to be so pretty. What we're going to need to do then is, because we don't want to scroll up and down like that, let's go over here and let's reduce this to 25%. So it's right there. Oh, she's just so lovely. This is going to look so good. Okay, what you want to do next is you can see the different layers. They have a white layer, a dark blue, her hair, her mouth. This is the layer that we know we're going to need to cut because it's going to be too big. It's 26 inches long. So let's go to ungroup. Let's move everything out of the way. So that's her blue. We're going to, obviously we can't cut this. It's over 12 inches width and 22 inches long. And plus, we don't want to cut it like this. We would waste so much cardstock. So we'll deal with that after we do the background. Here's her white. Here's her hair. Her little sleeves. Her face. And I think this is a really good one because everything else will fit on a 12 by 12 piece of cardstock, so you won't see the seams at all. That's going to be what I hope for. All right, so here's the image. So what we're doing is this is basically 19 inches by 26 inches. Obviously, the Cricut can't cut it as is. What we want to do is we want to cut this or slice this image into pieces that that our Cricut can actually cut. So let's bring in our square. And I'm going to make this square 11 inches. I'm basically going to be slicing this big black image into 11 by 11 size images, and that way the Cricut can cut it on my 12 by 12 cardstock. You could technically go to 11 and a half, right? 11 and a half by 11 and a half. You could even go 11 and a half by 23 and a half if you had the long pieces of cardstock. But I feel like those are so expensive, and if we're doing the black background, everything is being layered on top of it. I just feel like we don't need that. Okay, one other thing that I want to point out is where do we want to slice this, okay? We could, let me see, her face is the other big thing. We could just slice this image straight down the middle because most things will cover it. Like her collarbone area will cover the seams a little bit, and this will hide the seams. So I feel like on this one, we could just go straight down the middle, and or maybe even this side over here. So like, it's tiny, okay? So just something to consider. When I first did off the mat, I was just slicing. I just needed it to be able to cut it on the Cricut, but now I'm a little bit more mindful of where I'm cutting, and I'm trying to really look at images and be a little bit more selective with which images that I think will look good with color, and also where I can hide the seams really well. So, okay, sorry, that was a lot of talking, but it's worth it, I promise. Okay, so, oh man, her face is almost one image or one piece of paper. I'm really tempted to make this just slightly smaller, or you know what? Okay, this is gonna be the first time. I'm gonna do 11 and a half. Let's see if that works. It does work. All right. Oh, just the thought of this. Okay, 11 and a half. Then let's duplicate this. Let's go down here. Let's duplicate that. Let's go over here. And this is almost, I mean, my goodness. It's really close to being, I mean, just an easy one to do. All right, this is when I first used my position feature over here. Let's just round up these numbers. This is just like math and graphing. These are your x coordinates and your y coordinates. You're telling where this square to be exactly. So let's move this over. We want this square to be flushed with that other one. So I usually move it close enough and it's, you know, it's there. So this will be 25.5. And normally I don't do the half inches, but, and this is at 22. That should be flushed. This one, we need it to be flushed too. We need it to be at, I think this one we just need it to be at 18 and 10.5 maybe. Okay, we're gonna bring this image, oh, well, we still have this down here. So let's select this square, hit the shift button, select this one. So now both are selected, and we're gonna duplicate so that we don't have to try to flush those two pieces together again. And we can just kind of put it in the vicinity, and this will be 14, and this will be 33.5. If you put it close enough, you don't have to do the math, and you can kind of just go with what you have over here, like just round up. Okay, so let's pull this image up front. So let's go to Arrange, Send to Front, and see, I think her ear is a little cut off there. Let's move her over just a tad. Oh, sorry, it's my mouse. Okay, I think she's completely in. Okay, so this top portion, we're basically cutting her face right here. We're cutting down the middle of her neck, which I think is okay. And then we're cutting the sleeves here. So let's go to slice. I think we're good. When you're slicing, you can only slice 2 items at one time. So the black background is one item, and each square will be an item. So take your cursor, highlight the 2 right here, And you know you're able to do it because over here, slicing is not grayed out. So it's an option. I'm going to select it. And you can see now there's her head. The other trick that I use when I'm doing off the mat, and this one, this one looks super obvious, but I still rearrange everything over here so I don't have to think about where the puzzle pieces go later. So let's slice this over here. So you can see how I'm doing my cursor. It's just a small rectangle. It's enough to pick up the image and the one square. Slice. Okay, it always does this. I've done quite a few off the mat pieces. I feel like the middle piece, there's something funky always happens. It's just a little glitch. I will go to undo, and I'm going to do this bottom one. I'm just going to continue, but I'm going to I'm going to skip over that piece for now. And see, that works. So let me move this down here. Let's go back to this middle section and see if it will work now. And technically, I think those pieces would have worked, but I don't want to go and cut and then find out later that it didn't work. And there's so many pieces to this type of project that I will just undo. So let's go over here. We only have one more piece to slice. All right, here we go. We have that and we have that. This is what we want. Now, each one of these 5 pieces is cuttable on our Cricut machine. So let's get rid of all the slicing results. We don't need that. So highlight the whole thing and just delete. And now let's go to her face. This looks like it's 3 separate pieces. I'm going to use contour, and contour is an amazing feature. When you want to separate these 3, which we have to because it's basically 11 by 18, unless we have a big piece of cardstock, the 12 by 24, I'm going to use 12 by 12. So I need this to be in smaller chunks. When you use contour and you want to separate 3 pieces, then you need 3 copies of this. So I'm going to go to duplicate. Here's my second one, and here's my third one. Let's look at this one. Go to contour, and you can contour either using this by selecting what you want to be grayed out and not be active in the image, or you can go over here. What I usually do is I'll hit hide all contours, and it left me her little collarbone area. So that's fine. And this is 10.8 by 8.1. So perfect. It's going to fit on our cardstock and it's going to look amazing. It's going to hide our cut seams over here basically. So that's going to look really good. So now we need her neck and her face. So let's go over here, contour the second one. Let's hide all contours. When you do that, the system automatically has to have one piece that's active. Otherwise, the whole image would disappear. So select on the one you want. We want the neck, and then we now don't want this piece. You just select on it again. So everything else is grayed out, just the neck. So when you X out of this, here's our neck. And then now we want the face. So let's go to contour. And let's deselect this one and this one. And the reason why I did that is because you see the face, even though it's just one piece, it has the eyebrows. So like if I were to not select this, can you see on this screen over here, she now no longer has an eyebrow cutout. So it's multiple pieces of the face. So that's why I did it that way. All right, so let's X that out. And perfect, her face is 8 by 9. I mean, her face is all going to be one piece, so you're not going to see any seams, which I love. So let's just move that out of the way. Her hair is going to be the same, I think. Oh, actually, her hair, we don't even need to do anything. It's 10.5 by 11, but let me show you what it would look like on the map, okay? So let's insert a square. We know our square when we have our piece of paper, it's 12 by 12, right? Okay, so let's move that to the front. So this is going to be, I know I'm going to use glitter cardstock, okay? And because I use it so much and it's a little bit more expensive, I try to save where I can. And this is what I want to point out. So these 2 pieces down here, I could technically move them up here, and that would give you like almost half of this paper left to be used on some other project. And I like that idea because this is much more usable space if I had all of it. Then you don't have to worry about trying to fit it in between these two lines for your next project, okay? So because I want to get rid, I want to have this piece as a whole and then these two pieces separately, that's going to be 3, right? So let's go over here, duplicate 2 and 3, and then let's go to contour, and hopefully you're getting this by now. All right, let's make this smaller so I can easily gray out these 2 items so I have my big piece that I want. So here's that. And now let's do our left piece. So let's hide all contours and see what they left us. They left us that. So here's that. Gray out that. And there's my left. And then we need this little right piece over here. So let's go to contour. And I think it's this piece. So we can, let me make this smaller so you can see it. So if I select hide all contours, I want this piece, right? So this is the right one. See, you can see it's now not grayed out. And then let's just select here. Then we know everything is grayed out except for, oh no, there. Now this is the only thing that's left. Okay, so that's done. Let's look at this. This is 4 pieces. I believe it's her 2 earrings and her 2 shoulders. Excuse me. So it's 4 pieces. So here's our second, third, and fourth. And let's go to contour. Let's hide all contours. It saved us the left big shoulder piece. So good there. Let's go here, contour, hide all contours. This time let's do the left earring, gray out the shoulder. Okay, so we got the left. So everything, oops, where is it? There it is. Okay, let's do our next image. Let's go to the right. Let's do hide all contours. This is the one we want. Gray out this shoulder. And now we only have the 1 shoulder piece left that we need. So contour and hide all. I want this one and I'm going to gray out this one. Okay, so now all of that is in on one piece of cardstock. All right, what do we have here? I don't know what these top parts are. Looks like, oh, for her hair and stuff. Okay. Yeah, we need to break all of this up. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 pieces. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's worth it. Okay, and plus, technically we can't cut this unless you had a gigantic long piece of cardstock. Okay, so let's go to contour. Let's hide all and see what they saved us. They saved us the left of the necklace. That's fine. Let's move it over here. Let's do the next one, contour, hide all. Let's do the right piece of her necklace, gray out the other piece that we already have. Okay, there's that. Let's do the next piece and let's just continue moving up, hide all, and let's do this. It's her earring. Did that work? No, it looked like I grayed it out again. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's do the top piece of her hair. Sorry. Oh my. Okay. Gray out this piece. So here's the top of her hair. All right, let's do the next one. So we're down to 4 pieces left that we need to isolate the 4 right here. So let's hide all contours. Let's do this little piece. Let's hide this piece. We're good there. Didn't grab it. There it is. But while we're here, this one, let's contour. And let's hide all and select this one. Deselect this one. All right, so all I have left are my earrings. Because it's small and my mouse is not working with me right now, oh, you know what? We can do, let's do slicing on these 2 for the earrings, okay? So what we want to do is we want to get a circle because it's kind of in that shape. It'll be easier for us to manage. So here's our circle. Bring it in. Okay, so our circle and our blue, that's 2 images. Let's go to slice. And look at now that earring is all good. I don't know if it's her earrings or no, I think it's her eyes. Sorry, we can probably use the same circle. We can. And let's slice the other one out. Look, that was pretty easy. Now we got to get rid of all these though. Okay, so that's all done. Delete. All right, so we're almost done. We have her lips. The only thing we have left are the eyepiece. So this is 5.5 by, it's by 5 basically. I'm tempted to keep the eyes together so that I know exactly where it goes, but let's get this mouth sliced out so that we can cut it up here and save a little bit of cardstock. So let's go to duplicate, or actually, no, let's slice. That's a much easier thing to do. It's less steps. Okay, let's put the little square here. We're going to slice out that mouth. And I'm sorry, I should have made this bigger so you can see it. Okay, there. So basically this is what I have. Okay, so let's slice it. So now this mouth I can cut up here. Okay, all right, so I think we're done. Let's go to save. And I did Cinderella. Did I do it at 27 inches? Oh man, I should save it as soon as I do it. Okay, save. Okay, so let's go to make it so you can see how I organize my map. All right, so this is what I was talking about. The reason why I didn't leave this here is it would have wasted all this cardstock. Now I can move it here, and so the next time I have much more usable space. Oh, it says one of my images is too big. Did I not notice that? Okay. What happened here? That's so weird. All right, let's go to cancel. Let's look at our black. Okay, so let's decrease this and let's see what happened here. This is 10 by 11.5. This is 8 by 11.5. So none of my pieces are that, oh my gosh, no, wait. None of this is too big. So let's go to make it. Let's see what happened here. Let's look at this. It's telling me that this one is too big, but I'm gonna be a daredevil. And what I'm gonna do is when I'm cutting this one, I'm gonna feed the machine with a 12 by 24 mat. I'm gonna push this up here and it's gonna cut. We're basically tricking our machine to cut past the 11.5, although I don't even know why it's saying that. Okay, so this is totally fine. Let's look at this though. These two pieces can definitely be cut with these items. So what I do is I select it, go to the 3 blue dots, move to another mat, and I'm going to move it to this one. And I'm going to put it, maybe I'll move it like this. There, so now that fits up here. I have one more piece. Let's move this to another mat. Let's see if we can fit it on that big one. Okay, so this is what we have here. Let's move it down here. And I think if I turn it, I can make it work. There. Okay. This one is gigantic, so it's going to be by itself. No big deal. All right, here's her face. I mean, her face is her face. Let's see. Let's do that. And I'm tempted to move this one to the other mat because then I have all this usable space right here for the next time. So let's do that. Let's click on this, move to another mat. Oops, there, I want to move it to that mat. And yeah, because then look at this. Next time this paper, I can use all this bottom for something else. Okay. Here's her hair. Oh, this is what I was talking about. Remember, her hair originally was like this, and it would have been hard to reuse this piece because it would have been a middle piece, but we can do this, and we can do this, and next time we have all of this at the bottom to reuse. Okay, here's her blue. I'm going to move this over a little bit. We don't need to waste all that space. We can move it over. And I almost feel like, should I do it this way? And I know this is where I get like a little bit crazy, trying to save cardstock. I feel like that's a little bit better for next time. Because it's always when you're trying to save space that I end up either overcutting, undercutting, and it's just horrible. Okay, I feel like that's better. Let's go to the darker blue. This is what they have. Let's make this way. I feel like that's going to be better. We can move this in here. Move this. And let's move these things over. Oops, and do you see this? This would have ruined both pieces. So you just want to make sure when you're doing this, you're not making it worse for yourself. I still want to give it a little bit of space because it's cutting glitter cardstock. I just don't want to mess up. So I'm going to do it like so. I don't like how this juts out. I wonder if that's better. I know, I'm sorry, I'm being really picky here. But it's Friday morning and I feel like let's save. Okay. Let's move this down here. Let's see if I can get this in here. Because I use a lot of glitter cardstock, so I'm really trying to save where I can so I don't pass the cost along to the customer. Okay. There. So I think next time, I have a lot of blue that I can use for next time. Okay, here's her lips, and we're all done. We're ready to cut. I'm going to cut this thing, and then I will record myself piecing it all together. Thanks for joining. If you have any questions, please just post. I will respond back within 24 hours. All right, have a great weekend.